Folks, Fuzzfinger here and welcome back to Final Fantasy X, and today we're going to continue on with the Dark Aeons. Sadly, well, not sadly, but just the way it is, today's Dark Aeon is by far the hardest we have had to face so far. I would even say this fight is harder than Nemesis. Dark Bahamut here has 4 million health, so not as much as Nemesis, but his attacks are somewhat annoying. He counterattacks every time he is attacked 5 times, so that's something we need to be aware of. He counterattacks with a spell called Impulse, and what Impulse does is damage to every party member, along with casting Petrify on anybody who doesn't have Stoneproof or Ribbon equipped. So in my party that will be Yuna. Make sure you have plenty of softs available. And he also does a standard attack on his turn and Mega Flare, which will basically one-shot your entire party unless you have about 50,000 health. Overdrives aren't going to do a whole lot of damage because he has such a high defense stat. You are going to need Celestial Weapon, otherwise your standard quick hits are also not going to do much damage. And on top of that, make sure you have luck of about 120 at least, because this boss also has a somewhat high luck stat, and you're just going to get one shot if you're not careful. And not only that, your attacks will miss if your luck's not high enough. So now he's going to counter because we've attacked him 5 times with Impulse. Something I forgot to mention that Impulse does: on any character it doesn't petrify, it puts the full break effect on, which means somebody here is going to die in a moment, unless he's kind enough to attack Yuna, because Yuna is gonna be softened up. And he does. That was very kind of him. He would have done maximum amounts of damage to either of the other characters if he went ahead and attacked them. I would advise perhaps using Riku in this fight, who I haven't leveled up so I can't, so that you can heal your party up quickly with her mixed spells. But I'm just going to have to go ahead and use the Mega Elixirs, basically because we want to have our health filled up as much as possible. So Tidus will need to be dispelled there. Dispel will remove Protect and Haste if they're not on your equipment as the auto ability, so I do strongly advise that they are. You've got to be very careful when his overdrive gauge is full. That's number 2, just trying to count it so that you can summon an Aeon in time. 3. 4. And now the next attack he will do Impulse, but he's also going to do his overdrive. So what I'm going to do is summon Ifrit, because Ifrit, any Aeon with over 12k health and maximum defense stats should be able to survive the overdrive, so long as you cast Shield. The reason I'm doing that is this Aeon should be able to take the Mega Flare and then the Impulse it will cast as the counter for Ifrit's attack, which means our party are free to attack 5 times again without having to worry about using softs and spells and whatnot. So long as Ifrit can survive this, which I'm pretty sure he will, yes, we can now attack and take his counter, which means we can now attack him another 5 times, so I do need to count that. The trick is to be careful of his overdrive, because if you get an Impulse followed by an overdrive, it's almost certainly game over, even if you've got auto life available. Speaking of which, I am just going to throw a couple of auto lives around here just to be on the safe side. I'm not going to put auto life on Yuna because I'm pretty sure his Petrify removes it. Counter attacks, by the way, from your party do not count towards the 5 damages you need to trigger his counter. So there are strategies that involve just equipping weapons with counter attack and then damaging him that way by only using counter attacks. It takes a little bit longer, but it is one viable strategy for sure. Let's heal Yuna up, I would say. I do want to try and keep them above 25k health, if at all possible. So we've still got 5 times to hit him. There's the first. Second. Third. We are going to have to heal up in a moment. Take physical attack. I think we will go Curagar on Yuna just so she can survive the impulse. She's coming now. And now look, we have got to be careful of that overdrive. We cannot take his next attack. So once we've... Hopefully Yuna's going to be able to get a bloody Aeon out, because I do not want our party getting mega flared. That is something we want to avoid at all costs. And yes, she. Right, so we'll Mega Elixir you up again, as per usual, since she gets another attack anyway to do the Aeon. Spell the bad stuff from Waka and T. Oh, Waka. Your spell just thought might remove auto life. Did it? No, it didn't actually. Pretty darn useful, I thought it might. And we cannot attack him because his overdrive gauge will fill. What I might do... if we skip turns... Right, we'll just take a normal attack. Better than having to use an Aeon at this point. But we will have to use an Aeon on the next turn for sure. Just means we can get a few extra hits in. So that's 1, 2, 4. Wow, this is going to be too risky. And what we'll do is summon an Aeon next. So we'll heal Tidus up there. I'm not going to use Waka or Tidus. We'll summon our Aeon, Yuna. So Ixion, who sucks by the way, doesn't even have the great damage limit because I haven't been able to collect Lulu's celestial weapon. Right, he is going to shield, so he should survive the Mega Flare, and just to get maximum use out of this Aeon summon, we will then attack him for the 5th attack, and he can eat the impulse. That's really the best way of doing it, I think. He should survive that. About 10 to 12k damage in total done to him. Okay. No, he does, he survives, brilliant. We do that, he does impulse. And now when our party comes back, we get another 5 fresh attacks. And this is and it's basically just like repeating that routine over and over. You just gotta really concentrate because he might like not have his overdrive filled up. So you think, yeah, I'll skip Yuna's turn and we'll just eat the physical attack. But then when you skip her turn and attack with whoever's next, it does fill his overdrive gauge up right before his turn. That's not what you want, trust me. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip Uni. Yep, take that gladly. And 5, we'll eat the impulse this time. Soften Yuna up. Spell get rid of the break effects on Waka and Tidus here. Someone will have to throw Mega Elixir on the party, which is going to be Tidus next. Do you want to get that dispel off first? Yuna's going to probably have to do something in a second. Let's go ahead with Mega Elixir. Right, it would be nice if she gets another turn after a quick hit. She doesn't. Okay, so he's gonna... See what I mean? Do not get tempted to use Yuna at this point, because his overdrive gauge would fill up again before his next turn, and she wouldn't have a chance to get a summon out. So we've got no choice here but to summon. Don't really want to have to use Baleful, because chances are we're going to have to summon again in all honesty. So what I'm going to do, summon the Major Sisters. They should be able to survive a few turns in order to tempt this boss into casting the overdrive again. I don't really want auto life because these guys suck at damage. I don't want this to drag out longer than it needs to. Right, so the boss's next turn, we will see that overdrive. And then I might just dismiss the Major Sisters. Unless we can trigger the next impulse, then dismiss the Vested Alive. I know that one of them's going to get resurrected here with the auto-life ability. You see what I mean about this battle being harder than Nemesis? You really do have to concentrate, because if you screw up, don't bring an Aeon out in time to eat the overdrive or whatever it might be, then you're going to suffer for it. Nemesis, it is literally just quick hit, and you're done. Not the case here. Come on, let's see that impulse. Yes, now we can attack another 5 times. So the Major Sisters did well for us then. I'd say we're in a pretty strong position there. Finish this fight off. Another 5 attacks now. Might even be enough. Yeah! 3. 4. You know what, I really can't risk it, because if Yuna dies here, chances are she's not going to be, or if she gets petrified, once the soft's been used, she's not going to get a turn. That's the reason why I'm going to bring Anima out. Oh, that's so annoying. That is so annoying. Gotta play this carefully now though, because Anima could be killed otherwise. 4 to be. I'm going to Pang, and then hopefully we'll get the overdrive off the boss. No overdrive yet. Let's beat the impulse then. And it doesn't look like the break effects have any effect on the Aeon, which is good. So we get the impulse and the Mega Flare. Bit of a different order that time, but at least we got that done. So now we can get another 5 attacks off with our party. I'm really hoping this time that'll be enough. Every 5 attacks we do is like 500k damage or something. I guess 4 million health, that is a lot of damage for me. Pummeling to go yet. Let's entrust over to Wak. get a perfect overdrive, that's 200k damage in a single attack. But that seems pretty pointless when you entrust that you just thought from Tidus, because that's 100k we're not doing by him doing that. That's number 2. 3, he's dead. Awesome. Dark Bahamut is a goner. Well, I hope that's been helpful to you guys. I feel like I can take over the world now if you can kill him. Ah, no cutscene. Well, alright folks, I'm going to finish things off here today, so thank you very much for joining me. If this has helped you in any way, please do go ahead and share this episode with your friends, and subscribe to the channel as well. I'll see you soon guys, as we continue on killing the Dark Aeons in Final Fantasy X.